Hey, Marcia here. So just a quick recap. We're hypothesizing momentum as a damage predictor, a damage parameter for our egg drop system. And that's equal to the mass of the object and the velocity of the object. And we were able to solve for the velocity as a function of drop height. And our mass, because we're using an egg, that's going to be pretty constant. And we saw two experiments that showed that we increase velocity, we increase damage, or if we increase mass, we increase damage. Okay, so the next piece of this, let's look at physical systems. Mechanical systems have three elements: masses, springs, and dampers. Okay, so the force acting on a mass is equal to the mass itself times the acceleration. So in a free fall, that's just going to be the gravitational constant. Okay? So the mass, the force that's acting on this mass at the instant that it hits the ground, trick question, doesn't matter what height, it's the same force, because gravity is a constant here on Earth most of the time. There are two other types of mechanical elements. Mooney's so excited, he wants to know. He wants to know what this is. Springs and dampers. Now, the force on a spring element is equal to the spring constant times the elongation of the spring. So if I stretch a rubber band, I'm putting energy in it, and the force that it's fighting back with me as I extend it is equal to how much I've stretched that spring. Okay, so it's a function of elongation, delta x. My third element is a damper, and that's analogous to a resistor in an electrical system. So you know what resistors do? Well, a damper would be like a dash pot in a water system. Dampers dissipate energy, hence damper, okay? And the force on a damping system is equal to minus the damping constant, damping coefficient, minus b, times the velocity of the element. Okay, so the damping force always acts in opposition to the velocity of the object. So, looking at these three, you know, which of these elements is going to help me dissipate the energy put into a mass dropped from a height? And now Mooney's happy because I dropped the ball. Well, if you said damper, that's a really good guess, because dampers dissipate energy. So they're going to take all that energy that we put in, potential energy that we put in from raising the object to 8 feet high and then dropping it to the ground, and by dissipating that energy, guess what? There's not going to be enough left over to create fracture surfaces. And I gotta show you what Mooney's doing with this ball. He's having a blast. Well, he was. Yeah. Okay, go have it fun. Go have fun, Mooney. Okay, so there you have it. We're using a damage parameter, momentum, equals mass times velocity, and we have a choice of how we reduce the damage by acting on the mass and the velocity. So if we're using an egg of a fixed mass and a fixed drop height, that's the criteria for our egg drop challenge, then we can dissipate that energy most effectively by using a damping system. And you can test the effectiveness of your dampers with an egg drop challenge. Now, that's only one way to dissipate energy. Okay, so if you can come up with another way to reduce velocity, like maybe a cool glider system or a parachute system, or something that decreases the velocity as the object falls, that might be another cool solution to your egg drop challenge. Anyway, so I hope this gives you some insights into how math and physics can help you understand what's going on with an egg drop challenge and how to measure damage maybe how to use this to test the damping characteristics of different surfaces, like the blue mat we used earlier, or a piece of concrete, or a piece of hardwood floor or laminate flooring that you're considering. So as you work in the kitchen, you're standing all day. If I'm standing on a tile floor, I notice my back is killing me after several hours. So this might be a fun way to test different surfaces before you put them on your floors in your house. Otherwise, you might need some cushion padding to stand on. So that's it for today, and we'll come back with more crazy egg drop experiments next week.